All right. Hello there, guys. This is Tommy Stigs, Tommy Stigs Social Club. This is the YouTube channel. I'm going to touch into a topic called the Italian Americans. It's about the immigration from Italy to the United States. I'm going to touch on a few different topics. I'm going to be referencing a book, an incredible book that I have. It's going to be the Italian American. It's called the album of the Italian American. I am doing this as a live show instead of a pre-record. I think it's better. The quality is better. The pre-records don't seem to work out so well. So this book was left to be. It was left. It was left by my grandparents. This book was printed in 1972. I'm going to get into the chapters. There's 20 chapters. I'm going to actually, in the future, review one chapter at a time. There's 20 chapters, and then there is an index. I have the avatar on because I'm going to go through the chapters, list them to you one at a time, and then I would like you to look for future shows that I will do. Okay, so let me go through the chapters. Like I said, there's 20 chapters and an index page. I'm going to be reading them, so I will have the camera off. In the background, you're going to hear a little bit of Godfather music playing. Now, don't mistake that for crime. This is the problem that a lot of people have outside the culture, the Italian culture, the Italian American culture. They think that this beautiful musical composition is related to the mafia. When Italians hear it, Italian Americans hear the Godfather themes, it feels like family. Not criminal, not the underworld, not crime family. It feels you feel the culture and the heritage of the Italian American. So I'm going to be playing that in the background of every show that I do, every chapter that I go over, and it just adds to the vibe a little bit. All right, so let me go over the chapters in the book. I'm not going to be answering the chat right now, guys. I'm doing this live because the quality is better. It's more reliable. StreamYard is actually more reliable when you do a live stream than when you do a pre-record. That's my experience. And today we're having weather issues, so I figured I would do it this way. All right, so I'm going to go over the chapters right here, guys. Here's what we have. Like I said, I'm treating this as a pre-record, but doing it live. So I won't be entertaining the chat. Although you can leave messages in the chat, I don't see them right now. I do see that there is messages, but I don't see them, so I'm not having a distraction. All right. So the first chapter is the Italians in a New World. All right. I'm going down the list of chapters. And I don't know what's in the chapters. I read this book a long time ago. The Italians in a New World. I guess that's about the Italians coming here. The largest of the immigrant groups. I'm assuming that the Italians were the largest of the immigrant groups. There was a large population, a migration of the Italians for a certain period of time. So I guess for a certain period of time, the Italians were the largest of the immigrant groups. Then we have lowly jobs for poor immigrants. Not many know this, but the Italians were treated very badly in the workplace. Fast forward, you end up with unions and things like that. So lowly jobs for poor immigrants. I'm looking forward to that one. Little Italy. This is an interesting one. Little Italy is an interesting one. Little Italy's popped up all over the country. And I think it popped up not because the Italians are cliquish, it was a protective element. They gravitated towards a certain area, felt comfortable within the area, within the culture. And remember, discrimination was huge. So they felt a home base. And a lot of the Little Italies come from, the same paese, they're paisans. A lot of Little Italies cliques within the Little Italies, who's Calabrese, who's Sicilian, who's Napoletan, who's Barese. There's all cliques within these Little Italies, all different. They come from, they say, the paese, from different areas. So that's going to be an interesting one. We're going to go over all the Little Italies. Italians at worship, the Italians and the church. Big part of the Italian community is the churches and religion. Okay, the Italians of the West. Not sure what's in there. Looking to dig into that chapter. Victims of prejudice. The Italians, the Italian Americans never beef about being, the victim of prejudice. We just don't do it. The Italians just keep pushing forward and working through it, working hard. So the victims of prejudice. That's going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to that one. Education. Next one. Patriotism in wartime. World War One. I don't know much about that. I was not in school very much. Keep in mind, guys, I'm not an educated individual. I was barely in school. I don't have a great vocabulary. My reading skills are not the best. I'm going to do my best with this series to bring you something real from a real guy, okay? A regular guy. Then depression, okay? So patriotism in wartime, World War One, then the depression, then World War Two, and special problems. Like I said, I don't know what's in a lot of these chapters. It was a long time since I read this book. Americans accepting Italians. We'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to digging into that one. Italians looking to be accepted in the American world, the American culture. I'll tell you one thing. My grandfather would not speak Italian in the house because he tried to conform to the American way of life. So he did not teach us Italian in the house. When he was with his paisans, that's all he spoke. He spoke Italian with a Barese dialect, but I think it was part of being accepted. I don't know. Okay, participation in politics is one. Italians in organized labor. Remove the organized crime aspect of it. Italians in organized labor. There's a lot of reasons for Italians being into organized labor, and we'll get into that. Okay. The cultural heritage. That should be another interesting one. The cultural heritage. We have a lot of cultures, a lot of heritage. Our culture is rich. Our culture is big in tradition. The Italian culture and heritage is big on tradition. I'm looking forward to that chapter. Relationships with other minority groups. I will tell you, Italians and blacks get along wonderfully. Wonderfully. It may be because of the prejudice of both races way back. Remember, Italians were not considered white. There was, like I said, I grew up between Belleville, New Jersey and Newark, New Jersey. My grandmother lived in a housing project. My nana lived in a housing project. I grew up spending my time in public housing projects, which means my friends were Spanish, they were Italian, they were black, and they were white. Get that. Black, Spanish, Italians, and white. Italians were not considered white. So we're going to get into that. Relations with other minority groups. And we got along very well. So my best friends when I was a little kid were black. And we didn't see that. We didn't see that color. We had a good time playing in the projects. All different colors. Okay? Kiss Me, I'm Italian is the next one. Not sure what that one is. Kiss Me, I'm Italian. That should be an interesting one. Okay, the delights and strengths of the Italian culture. Another one. Okay. Ongoing problem. Ongoing problems. The special case of crime. I'm going to think that might go back to the lynchings. I'm not sure. Maybe Sacco and Vanzetti. Maybe they touch on the case of Sacco and Vanzetti. I'm not sure. Some people are not aware of the case of Sacco and Vanzetti, but that was a criminal case. And I think in New Orleans, possibly. I may be wrong about that, but I'm going to read into that. Okay, the identification crisis. That should be interesting. The identification crisis. Okay, so that's 20 chapters, and then it's the index. So that's basically the introduction of this series that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be based off of this book here, but I have a lot of other things to show you. A lot of clips, a lot of interviews, and I may have some friends and family members come on from time to time. So that's basically the introduction to the series that I will be starting. It's not going to be a set schedule. They're going to be dropped randomly. Some of them may be a short pre-record. Some of them may be a live show like this. But feel this music. This has nothing to do with the mafia. This has all to do with our culture. When we hear this music, we feel the love of our culture and family. The music, the songs in The Godfather feel like family, not like the mafia. All right, get that out of your brain. Because this show here, this series here is going to be nothing to do with the mafia. Yeah, there may be parts that we speak about it, but overall, it's not. I'm gonna check the chat because, but I'm not doing. This is a quick show. All right. This is live, just chilling. This is live. Interesting topic. Listening while driving. Okay, Bobby. I'm logging off now, guys. I tried to do this as a pre-record before. It didn't work out so well. So I'm going to log off now, have a bite to eat, and maybe come back live later. I'm trying to keep these short and sweet. It's going to be about the Italian American experience.